Okay, this is going to be a RuneScape news video, and there's been lots of news articles for RuneScape and lots of updates to the game. Um, but I just found a couple articles I'm interested in. So just want to read through some of those, and let's start with this Road to Restoration. So Road to Restoration, graphical rendering improvements. So here on the left side is the old graphical look of certain items. I know it's still the road to improvement. So, Jagex is always working on graphical updates, whether it's, like player models, animations, just textures, graphical stuff of the world. And I think Jagex they update their engines and they do a lot of different improvements to the game. So, but yeah, this is just an example of like kind of like has like this outline, this kind of weird kind of look, and then it looks better on the right side. So that's just an example, and um, just some text here. So again, I don't know if these updates are out yet, but today we're previewing some technical work. But that will actually have a significant impact with regards to resolving some long-standing player feedback about RuneScape visuals. Here's what we've heard you say. Environments and aspects of the player avatar can look like they are made of Play-Doh. This is most commonly mentioned in combination with overly smooth plasticky textures and outlines that emit a faint white glow. Some people may refer to this as sweaty outline. Environments and other assets can feel washed out, gray, or overly pale, often lacking vibrance or contrast. Shadows often appear logically broken up or in unexpected areas. And we agree with you. Our game engine and rendering team has been away diligently at these issues for some time now and have been making some great progress on several of the above points. Today we'll be focusing on the outlines, saturation, and shadows, but rest assured we are making progress on all of these issues. Now, while the following changes sound simple, it has taken a fair amount of under the hood work to implement them. Um, so, okay, that's definitely pretty interesting. Um, so yeah, also, when I'm reading through this text and stuff, I just kind of, just because, Jagex is a, uh, it's in the, Jagex is a, they're a, it's a European company. And sometimes, I live in Canada, so sometimes when I read some of these texts, it's just kind of like it's like I'm reading it like a typo, but it's like actually kind of a word. So when I read these, I read them in. Uh, I just like read, I just skip some of the words. And also sometimes, um, it just, sometimes there's typos and stuff when I'm doing the news. Sometimes, but yeah, I just read it so it makes a bit more sense. Because a lot of these British words, like a lot, stuff in the UK, some of these words, like they're not very natural for me. So, and I know a lot of people that play RuneScape, they don't live in the UK. So, if you live in the UK, that's a lot of the words they use, different types of words they use over there. But me living in Canada, it's just kind of odd for me to kind of read some of those words. Like I just avoid some of those words, and I think that just makes it easier for me to read the news. So if people, I don't know if anyone wondered about that, but yeah, sometimes there's typos. Sometimes, that's part of typing. Sometimes on a news post, like whether it's Xbox News, RuneScape News, just like you're reading the news about something, there's always some typos. Sometimes certain words in certain other countries, they're just not natural to me. So I just read, um, I just read, I just read them how it makes sense to me. And I think it sounds better with my commentary when I read the news. But if anyone was wondering why I sometimes skip certain words, or sometimes like when I'm playing RuneScape, like in my other RuneScape videos, like when I'm playing the game, there's like just certain words. I just, some of the lore in RuneScape, some of the names of certain things, I don't really know how to pronounce them. So that's pretty common when you're playing different types of games. Whether it's playing something on a PC or playing it on console. Sometimes I can't pronounce some of the words in some of these games. So, I just read it how it makes sense to me. But, people know what I'm talking about when I'm reading the news. And when I'm, playing games and doing gameplay videos, people know what I'm talking about. But I just kind of want to improve some of my commentary, where it just makes more sense. It's easy for me to talk. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that quickly. Um, but yeah, I just read that talking about, some of the issues. So yeah, Jagex is working to implement some of these. And here's what we're changing. Wait, is there anything else? No, that's all of. Oh yeah, another thing too, like when Jagex they write like this, like they have like these like kind of these. It's almost like a PowerPoint kind of, but these are like all. It's kind of like they're. This kind of makes sense. It would be make sense if it was a paragraph, but they have like kind of like these dots and these lines, so it's like kind of almost like a PowerPoint. So it's kind of weird to read. So um, that is one thing I've been working on. Whether it's doing the news videos or just gameplay videos, I am working on improving my commentary. Um, when I first started podcasting, I mean, before I was doing YouTube, I was podcasting. I still podcast, but um, I was just used to podcasting and doing that kind of commentary and talking. But now that I'm doing YouTube, I do want to improve my commentary. So, um, yeah, I just thought I would mention that. But as I've been doing YouTube more, I think I'm getting better at, um, yeah, as I'm doing YouTube more, I'm getting better at, you know, uh, talking. I'm getting it better at talking and doing these news videos and doing game commentary. So I'm getting better at that. So, but yeah, this is just, again, like this, the way this is written is kind of weird, but that's okay. So yeah, so anyway, let's continue with the news. So here's what we're changing. Improving material response on armor and other reflective surfaces. So metals read read more naturally as metal. So reflective surfaces. Um, so armor. So reflective surfaces. So read more naturally as metal. So that was like that picture I showed before, where it's like there's kind of like the metal looked weird. Um, and reducing bright reflective edging on characters, equipment, and environments for a cleaner overall look. Um, Refining shadow behavior so shadows appear more cohesive, accurate, and consistent across the scene. As we know that a picture tells 1,000 words, though, here's what these improvements look like in actuality with a few examples. This technical update will, of course, affect many more things across the entire game, not just the listed examples below. So outlines and saturation, like I showed before, definitely a lot of improvements. So yeah, before and after. So pretty cool. Another example here, definitely improved. And then that's kind of funny. There's like a carrot outfit. Um, so yeah, here also says note all previews are work in progress and subject to change. But yeah, there's a carrot outfit. I don't. That's that's kind of interesting. Kind of a yeah, this kind of funny, I think. And then addressing the shadows. So here's some improved shadow work on a character. That's good. Um, that's it for now for previews. We're really looking forward to getting these fixes out to you as soon as possible. If you're keen on the technical specifics of this update, though, do read on. Um, I'm not going to read through all of this, but um, a couple things here. Like together, these changes help armor, trim, and other materials present more clearly, while also reducing some of the inconsistent reflective highlights that could create that bright outline effect on certain models. That's pretty cool. They've refreshed the texture data used by player kit and equipment, particularly the maps that help define which part of a model should appear metallic and how polished or rough different materials should feel. We've updated parts of the underlying shaders and lighting setup to improve how reflections respond to the light in each scene. We've made technical improvements to shadow rendering, so shadow information lines up more accurately with world objects and character models, helping shadows feel better connected and more natural in the final scene. This update is most likely due to roll out in May. So it's coming out in May, so like in like a month. Um, no, actually it's mid-April right now, so it's coming out. Well, maybe a month. I don't know if it's going to come out right in May, but maybe like a month away. Um, so coming out in May, that's kind of cool. Head on over to our official threads on Discord and Reddit to take part in the conversation. So that's really cool that they're working on those. And that's it for that article. One more article I want to read, which is going to be the Aura overhaul. Oops, that was game updates. Let's just press back. I need to click on this. There we go. So yeah, patch notes, Aura overhaul. So it's another milestone week in the road to restoration for RuneScape. Today we overhaul the Aura's systems. If you're unfamiliar with the road to restoration, it's a secondary roadmap that underlines our 2026 content roadmap. The road to restoration is a long-term project aimed at addressing the fundamental or systematic problems that have led RuneScape away from its core principles. As part of this roadmap, we already overhauled much of the dailyscape design and early game balancing, and we continue to make important changes that you can look forward to, including improvements to the Grand Exchange and a relaunch of the player avatar. I think the Grand Exchange improvements, that'd be really cool to see those. And a relaunch of the player avatar, it'd be good to see some player avatar updates. But the Aura system dates back to a previous era of RuneScape that is no longer compatible with our integrity-based direction. However, we have made sure to retain as many of the beneficial features of this system. We previously shared a couple blogs of our initial thoughts around auras, and later also around our more firmer design direction. Thanks to your input, we're confident that we found ways to address your concerns while still being able to tackle the worst aura offenders. For more insights into the why of the aura overhaul, do check out the two blogs linked above. But here are our overarching goals of the road to restoration that have guided us with this update. A game that's easy to understand, but is still full of meaningful choice and depth. Play because it's fun and not because you feel like you have to. A meaningful journey, no matter when you start. The benefits of today's changes include removing the need to play certain content in certain windows of time which their aura could be active, removing the player-to-player imbalance created by multiple aura tiers that were previously time-gated for membership tenure, uh, removing the need to accumulate aura powers over many years using a system that layered on top of RuneScape's normal gameplay features and had very little connection to them. Let's take a look at what's changing. So I'm not going to read through like all of these just because I'll like quickly talk about them, but a lot of these I don't have unlocked. And also when it comes to auras, I was never really into auras. I never like there's a whole loyalty point system. Um, they did get rid of the loyalty point system. Um, which I think is fine. I had a couple auras, but I never really used the auras, so I think auras being removed is good. But this is the Green Fingers aura, and now um, you can go to the shop, and if you have 30k of the currency, you can get the effect of that aura for farming. So yeah, also if you already had the aura of tier 3, it's already unlocked for you. um, Focus siphoning, this is for Runespan. And for 20,000 points, it can be unlocked, and you get a 7.5% boost across the board to your siphoning success for Runespan, which is cool. Plus, with the recent dailyscape overhaul doubling your points you earn from siphoning across the Runespan, You'll be racking up points much more consistently. If you had a previously owned Master Siphoning Tier 3 or a higher one, this will be automatically unlocked for you, which is cool. So if you did get these with loyalty points and you have all of them, they're just unlocked for you. If you don't have them, you can go to the shops and you can get points to get them, which is nice. 5-finger discount, which is for thieving. And there are 5 ranks and 1,000 points each, which I think they're called filter points for thieving. And then you can get some percentage boosts to thieving, which is nice. If you had the aura, again, you'll automatically unlock the equivalent of this bonus, so tier 1, tier 2, and so on. Okay, that's awesome. Enrichment for divination. As you level up divination, you will naturally unlock better chances of gathering enriched memories. These bonuses are not additive, and your highest bonus will always apply. Okay, so improvements there, and then as you level up divination, you get increased stuff, which is nice. Tracker. So pretty cool with these. That's for Hunter. Aligning with the changes as part of our early game rebalance. We have gone ahead and boosted the rates of trapping and tracking methods of various animals. Okay, here's all the animals. I'm not going to read through all these, but here's all the animals. These changes cover a hunter skill range from 33 to 97, which will provide you with a boost all throughout those levels and smooth out your hunting. Nice. Call of the Sea. Again, just different changes to fishing, which is nice. And I think potion changes. Additionally, a perfect Juju fishing potion and perfect plus potion now offer a 10% catch boost up from 5%. So if you're using certain potions and certain items, that's definitely, you get a lot of boost, which is nice. Lumberjack. So yeah, now we'll directly into the type of hatchet that you have. Different hatchet tiers will improve your chance of chopping wood. So Mithril to Rune, Orcalium, Orichalcum. Again, I don't know how to pronounce some of these, but Orichalcum to Bane, and then the Imcando and higher. This is further improved by your woodcutting skill level, meaning that over leveling trees will feel more powerful. An example of this would be chopping a yew tree with a Necronium hatchet, both level 70 at both level 70. At level 70, you are now 5% more likely to chop wood, increasing to 6% at level 110. So that's pretty cool. That is, there a lot of these help with updates. There's like, some skills go to 99, some skills go to 110, some skills go to 120. So that's pretty cool. And Quarry Master, so it's built into the mining skill directly, offering an initial plus 5% critical chance at level 59 and another 5% at level 85. Mine till your heart's content. Resourceful, that's archaeology. Okay, so it's just kind of, people can read through that, but you cannot expire a material cache in the first 2 gathers from it, which should improve the consistency of gathering for material caches in general. This aura previously offered the chance to either not deplete a wood cutting or excavation resource, increased a geode chances while mining, and provided a chance to mine additional red crystal flecked sandstone, which would not contribute towards the daily sandstone limit. Okay, I probably just should have read that in order. But yeah, they've improved that. The Daemonheim aura. You will no longer need to have this aura equipped. All of its activated effects are now passively applied. So that is really cool. A lot of different stuff with that, which is nice. Vampirism and Penance. These auras were designed around converting damage into useful resources like health or prayer points. To preserve these effects, they've now been moved into the aspect system. Aspects are combat buffs, such as darkness, enemy dead, or temporal anomaly. Players can activate these via spell books, with only one aspect being able to be active at any given time. Vampirism is now available in the Ancient Magic Spellbook. It requires a magic level of 69 and costs 15 blood, 10 death, 6 soul, and 45 runes to cast. It lasts for 12 minutes, like other aspects, and heals you for 5% of the damage dealt, up to a cap of 50 life points per hit. And then Penance is now available in the standard spellbook. It requires a magic level of 67 and costs 3 law, 30 body, 10 soul, and 20 chaos runes to cast. It lasts for 12 minutes like other aspects, and restores prayer points equal to 5% of the damage received up to a cap of 100 prayer points. These new, I guess it says aspects, so I guess that's what they're called, but these new aspects will allow you to use these effects much more often and juggle between them if you bring along the runes. So I do think instead of auras like vampirism and penance, I think that's way better than auras. That's a really cool system, I think. Um, and So Might of Het, previous Desert Pantheon effect. So these auras gave a number of different effects. So the Might of Het has been added to the Totem of Vitality, which has replaced the Totem of Auras. So the buff will continue to boost your maximum life points by 25% to a maximum of 1500 extra in the same way it previously functioned. It should now be much easier to maintain this effect, as you will now not need to worry about daily charges. I've never used any of those, but that is improved, I think. And Actually, no, I just read that. We have additionally updated the Anachronia totem system. Gone are the days of charging the totems, and the weekly lockout has also been removed. Swap them around to your heart's content. The re-totem, the Remo totem. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Will now allow you to change totems remotely from the base camp. These changes should make it easier to have this boost up whenever you want to dive into PVMing. So that is really cool that they, updated that with Anachronia and that the totems. Poison Purge. There are already a variety of ways to become immune to poison. So this aura was in a bit of an odd place. However, we wanted to take this opportunity to update the anti-poison totem. It now has 100% poison immunity and is held in the pocket slot only. Really cool. Harmony, Corruption, and Salvation. The primary function of this trio of auras was to restore prayer points after accumulating a certain amount of prayer experience. This synergized especially well with the Sun Spear's ability to cremate Firewatch enemies for prayer experience, making this the most common use case. To preserve this synergy, the effect has now been integrated directly into Sun Spear. It will be unlocked by cremating Vires in the Columbarium. And then here's the cremations and the experience, the prayer restore. Additionally, the cosmetic wings effect are also unlocked by cremations, with all 3 types unlocked on a per tier basis at the following thresholds. So there's the different types of wings. You can now also click the Vire weaponry to check your kills and see which bonuses are currently granted. If you have already completed these cremation goals, you will have the benefits right away. That's pretty cool. And then auras that have been removed. The following is a list of auras being removed without their effects transferred elsewhere. Note that many of these auras were already disabled with the recent combat modernization due to the player power changes that came that came with that update. So yeah, a whole bunch of these. Um, these are all removed. Is that what it says? Yeah, these are all removed. People can always go to the news site and read more into stuff that I'm scrolling through. And then Aura refunds. So yeah, loyalty store point. The loyalty store is closing. Loyalty points will no longer have an in-game function. And yeah, the other thing. Okay, cosmetic loyalty points could have been used for cosmetic content. Will be relocated into the free monthly market drop cycles when the store closes. So that's okay. There are quite a lot of items, so we are investigating other opportunities to reintroduce them via other methods into the future. So they're working into kind of updating a lot of their systems. One important distinction we can make relates to players who have purchased an aura using bonds, where there is a direct and single correlation between the bond and the aura. Any players who spent bonds to acquire an aura after the 1st of December 2025 have had those bonds automatically returned to their accounts. Additionally, any players who purchased the Majorat aura using Reaper points since the 3rd of December 2025 will have those points returned to them, though the timing on this still needs to be finalized. As an important reminder, today's aura overhaul doesn't just remove aura effects outright. You're still able to continue using many of the effects due to our efforts to rework the system. Some have been reworked or integrated into other parts of the game, while others have been retired as part of broader improvements. Given the varied changes to different auras, there isn't a fair or consistent way to apply refunds across all situations. So a couple things will be refunded, but then some stuff is just not refunded. But I think JX is doing still pretty good with like the refunds, but some of it is just like they'll add it into other systems of the game. Maybe you get a couple like Reaper points. Is that what I said? Reaper points. Yeah, Reaper points. You might get your Reaper points, bonds. If you have, I think the cosmetic items that you have, I think you get to keep. The auras are removed, but they're working on the refunds though. Because the way it works with Jagex, if you've spent money, they have to refund you like your certain items. So they're still working on that, but so yeah, the aura slot has been removed from the worn equipment UI. The aura slot continues to exist in the wardrobe UI, where it has been renamed to visual effects. So there's still the cosmetics. This allows you to change cosmetic appearances such as gazes, and cosmetic auras such as the Devourer aura. The aura refreshes. Aura refreshes no longer have a purpose, so they have been removed in general. Additionally, they have been removed from both the Wars Wear store and the Super Rare drop table. They have been replaced on the drop table with 5 to 8 Starbloom seeds. Then in-game loyalty stores. The loyalty stores at Varrock, Birthrop, Menaphos, and Prifnidus have been cleared up, claiming back another piece of the overworld. These stores offered a limited recoloring limited recoloring service for sometimes for some items. This function has been moved into a right-click recolor for the outfits, while the other items can be used on Diango to recolor. Additionally, the outfits can be reclaimed from Diango. I think that's how you say that guy's name. Diango. But yeah, that covers today's changes. Head on over to the official threads on Discord and Reddit and let us know how you're getting on with the new systems. So yeah, just wanted to make this news video and oops, there we go. That's yeah, that's okay. I turned the orientation wrong way. That's okay. But yeah, that is yeah, just wanted to make this news video and yeah, there's been a lot of other updates in news, but I just wanted to talk about these things. I think, a lot of the graphical changes and stuff that they're working on are really nice, and then auras being removed I think is good. And then they're working on some new systems. So that is that's really cool. I do think this road to restoration, I think the game is definitely improving. So it's really cool to see. Um, yeah, it's really cool to see the updates they're working on, and um, I like that Jagex like they do previews of stuff and they show off like they have like community feedback and they show off the updates that they're working on, and then they just have other news posts about other stuff that they've updated in the game. So yeah, it's really cool. Like all the technical updates, I think are really cool. The graphical updates they're working on is nice, and then ores being removed and just certain things changes in the game, like um, you know, changing putting things into spell books and stuff, having stores where you can just like buy these upgrades instead of having the loyalty point system, having auras. I think is it's really cool to see these new systems, and yeah, the game is definitely improving. So yeah, I just wanted to make this news video, but yeah, that's all I got to talk about in this video. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.